All right. Third time's the charm. Evidently, I did this the first time, didn't screen share. Another time it didn't go to the right place, and then the third time I didn't have any volume. So maybe we're actually good here. So I know a lot of y'all were expecting Tony and I to actually do a live because we typically do a live every Tuesday now. But we're not doing that today based on availability for him. So tomorrow we're going to be doing one at 12 Eastern. So tune in for that. And then from there, I still want to kind of hop in and actually walk y'all through a couple things because we've got a lot of options for y'all to help grow your practice very quickly. And that actually starts tonight. And so we decided that we are going to actually do a 3-day challenge. So for any of y'all who still don't know who I am, somehow you're following all of our stuff, don't know who we are or anything like that. I'm one of the owners of Rehab CEOs. We're working with about 250 clinics around the nation. And I partnered with Robbie, who he himself went from 1 to 3 clinics and 1.7 million in revenue in 18 months. And he's been coaching for about 6 or 7 years now. And so we have a lot of systems to help people grow, whether they're kind of on the smaller side or all the way up to our biggest client has 7 clinics right now. And so this is our way to kind of help expedite y'all's learning curve. So that way y'all don't have to learn all this on your own. And so the Fill Your Practice Challenge tonight at 8 Eastern is going to help you get more new patients, maximize your profit, and actually help you have the ability to hire the people you need. Because I know I made a post yesterday. There's like 40 people that posted on it like immediately that they've been looking for PTs. And so a lot of times that's because some of the hiring things you don't know. Some of the times it's because we don't even know our hiring season. Some of the times it's because we can't afford to pay them what we know we should, and we want to be more profitable. So we can do that, because I've never met a PT who's like, I really would love to pay everybody less. Instead, it's like, how do we make it to where you can afford to pay people what you know they're worth? And so that's a lot of what we're going to be going into, is how to fill your practice, and then kind of walk you through all the aspects of how we do that, how we get owners out of treatment, how we get guys getting into multiple clinics, how they're actually buying their own real estate, how we're getting into some of the back end investment kind of styles there. And so if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, I'm going to kind of walk you through a little bit here. And of course, some of you are just like, how do I win a 5-day or a 5-night stay in Cancun? I'll walk you through that as well. So this, again, if you're interested, just comment challenge below and I'll actually send you more information so you can actually go through here and kind of dig in a little bit more. But for this, we're going to, again, kind of walk you through all the stuff that I told you before. But as far as like, who is this for? So again, this is not just for startups. There's some people that'll be startups. There will be some people that are multi-clinic. There'll be some that are just trying to get out of treatment. I have someone that already signed up for VIP who's just literally sending their clinical director to be on here. And so this is for a big range of people. We do have a big emphasis on our hybrid guys. So like a cash plus Medicare, cash plus Blue Cross Blue Shield, or our insurance guys. That's definitely our sweet spot from what we've seen. That doesn't mean if you're cash based, you're not going to get value from here, because hybrid's literally cash plus something. But I'll tell you that is definitely our bread and butter, and that's what we're the fastest at growing across the board. And so if you're someone who is maybe struggling and you're trying to kind of know what you need to do next, maybe that's because you need more new patients, profitability, something like that, and it's just not going where you need to, this is going to be something where we can help you a little bit here. But if you're someone who's like, hey, we're doing okay, like I just need like one more new hire, and then like maybe you've been telling yourself that for a while though, it's like I need one more hire, but like the bank account's not actually going up anymore, that probably means we have some profitability issues, or we have some things that we need to look at, or we need to kind of systemize a couple things in the business. Or we've got some people who just came in, they're like, hey, I'm already crushing. I just want to find a way to actually do better. And so I'm a winner who wants to win bigger. And so sometimes that's just a matter of collapsing timeframes, because everybody knows that you can go further and faster with support. And so regardless of where you're at, how stuck you are, we're going to be able to kind of get you unstuck during this. That's the whole thing. It's going to be 4.5 hours. So 3 days at 8 Eastern all the way till 9:30 Eastern. We're going to walk you through all of these things. And then from there, I'm going to kind of walk you through. It's like, okay, well, there's 2 tiers. There's your general admissions who are just kind of like maybe trying to get their feet wet. There's VIP owners who like maybe they prioritize their time a little bit more so than actually their money. And they're like, hey, it's only $97. I can actually get more of my questions answered on the live Q&A. Or maybe timing wise, they're not able to attend. They want to have their recordings. They want to go back and study those. Or maybe they want to actually come in and actually say, okay, well, Joey, I know that the challenge is going to be awesome, but I have these unique situations, or I have this specific thing going on. My model's a little bit different. This state's different. Any of those type things. And they're like, hey, I want to work with you, but like, I kind of don't even know you yet. Like you're asking me to marry you, but I want to kind of go on a date here. So this is our way to say, okay, Normally, there's no way to get one-on-one consulting with us. Like it's not even really something we offer. I've done it in the past. I charged $500 an hour when I did that. This is going to allow us to, one, make you do a little bit of homework ahead of time because we're going to start to actually look at these numbers and everything like that. And it helps if I share this. I did it again, guys, but I'm at least going to share share it now. This has been a day. All right, here we go. We're actually sharing it here so you can see what the hell I'm talking about here. This is really the only visual part you've needed to see so far, so that works out. And so you're going to actually be able to see like, okay, well, we've got the clinic guide, so that's going to actually break down all your numbers so we can start to objectively see where your actual limiting threshold is. Because sometimes, like if we got multiple clinic guys, like it's very common if you have at least 3 clinics, one of them's crushing, one of them's bleeding, and the other's doing average. And so we kind of split those out so we can start to see where the issues are. If you're smaller, it's like, okay, well, let's just figure out where your bottleneck is. Sometimes it's cash flow, sometimes it's hiring, sometimes it's marketing, sometimes it's length of stay because people are dropping off, no shows. There's 5 billion things that it could be, and that's why it's so overwhelming, because realistically, if everything's important, nothing's important. So we have to figure out objectively where are you stuck. And then from there, we're going to give you a game plan. So I'm going to hop on a call, do a 60-minute one-on-one session, and actually break down where you're at so you know where to go from then on. And so if that sounds like something you're interested in, it's literally just $97. If you don't find interest, if you don't find value out of that by attending the sessions and you don't get anything there, we'll just give you your money back. Like I'm not getting rich off of $97 sessions here. And if it's still not valuable, not only will we refund you $97, we'll also pay you $97. Like that's how convicted I am that I know I can provide $97 for the value. And so for you, if you're like, hey, VIP is not what I want, well, really, regardless, anybody who signs up for general admissions, which starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, if it's the VIP Q&A, which I know we're kind of coming up on time here, you're actually going to have a 30-minute session before, so it's 7:30 Eastern. But anybody who signs up, you're going to get access to our school community. So I know some of y'all are actually in our Facebook group. A lot of y'all think that that's our private community. That used to be. Facebook seems to hate us, so like half the time we can't even post in there. And so we switched over to school. So there's more of a private community where we can actually just be around people who actually give a crap about each other, that want to grow their business, want to grow the profession, not complain about the profession all the time and act like it's a dumpster fire, despite the fact that we have guys that are just hitting all-time highs consistently. And so we know that the profession can be good. And so we want to make a community of people who actually want to make a difference. And so that's what our private community is, where we do 2 free group coaching calls a week. I'll break that down a little bit more because I'm actually going to show you the back end of like all the 350 plus videos that you're going to get access to, the coaching calls, everything like that. And so if you're general admissions, so even if you can't make it to the challenge and maybe you're not doing VIP, just opt in, get general admissions, and at least come in so we can actually start helping you inside our community here. And so right now, this is where you ask all your questions. This is where you can kind of get all these answered inside of our private community here. And then from there, it's about 350. It's maybe a little bit more than that now because we keep adding, but we literally used to charge for this. And so we just decided that our threshold for one-on-one coaching is owner, admin, PT, and doing $30,000 a month in revenue. Otherwise, if you're smaller than that, all your money should really just be spent on marketing and hiring. And so we're just giving away coaching for free. Or if you're someone who's bigger and you actually do qualify for coaching and you're like, hey, I don't even know if I trust this bald guy. Or maybe you're like, hey, I'm locked into another contract, because we hear that all the time. And so you can hop on, still get coaching because maybe the coaching you're in is not really getting you where you need to. This is our way to kind of help you until you can actually make any other decisions that maybe you want to do as far as that. And so even if you never became a paid client of ours, we know we physically can't help everybody. And so at a minimum, hop in here, let us help you. And maybe we at a minimum are helping the profession, because we know that like we can't depend on one, like the APTA, we can't depend on there. Like it has to be a group effort. And so we want to make sure that there's no bar for someone to be able to grow their business. And that's why we've made this Practice Success Academy. And so on here, we've got everything from mindset stuff, how to actually kind of be thinking about becoming the owner that you need to. If you're a startup, there's literally like 100 videos on here of everything you need to do, how to transition from W-2 employee to actually doing the whole leap. Set up for profitability. A lot of y'all are going to think this is all startup stuff. No. Like we've got guys that are 20 years in business and they are not set up to be profitable. And they wonder why when they add another therapist, they're not making any more money. And they just think, I just need one more. I just need one more. Or I just need to open another location. And so like I've got guys, I just talked to someone has got 10 locations. I got another one that's 12. They are not set up profitably in like half of their locations. because it is different state to state, insurance, payer mix, everything like that. There's different setups for all of those. And so if you've just been told one cookie cutter thing, regardless of looking at any of those things, you're probably leaving money on the table. And we don't have to get into sketchy, like let's stack 3 or 4 people an hour. Like you can still be very profitable with insurance, hybrid, all those things. And so there's stuff on profitability, there's stuff on selling custom plan of care. So again, this works for regardless of model, whether you're insurance, whether you're hybrid, whether you're cash, this works for everything. It's about a 30 video course on everything to help get someone to actually want to pay money, want to stay, have an increased length of stay, decrease your no-show cancellations, all of these things. So that way your therapists have a better job at actually communicating the importance and the value that you have, because everybody talks about value, but most people don't know how to convey that. And so this will help you on there. If you're doing workshops, most people are averaging about 20%, 30% close rate whenever they do workshops prior to going through our training. We're seeing that a lot of people are falling kind of in that 60 to 80% whenever they start implementing our stuff, because this is everything that Robbie did in his clinics with workshops paired with what we've learned with tens of thousands of dollars worth of training on how to sell from stage from some of our mentors. And so if you want a predictable way to have a big bolus of people come into your clinic, and maybe you've tried workshops in them before, they are still very viable. And if you're someone like, I don't want to do those, cool, just have one of your therapists go through this and then they can start doing it. It's not always going to be dependent on you. And so this is super valuable for you to kind of go through there. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about with workshops, all it is we're getting 10 to 30 people in a room, depending on your size, and we're trying to sell as many of them into a plan of care as possible. And this is our way to kind of educate people and actually indoctrinate them on why we're different. So then they actually want to pay and stay. And so there's a lot of other things. Again, since our threshold's $30,000 a month in revenue, if you're below there, this is pretty much the blueprint for any of you, whether you're mobile, subleasing, or kind of getting into your own. Here's what you need to look at. Here's our stuff for hiring a therapist. So whether this is your first therapist, where it says here, or it's your 15th therapist, there's a lot of things that you need to go through here that you probably haven't considered that would help you on the hiring side of things. So definitely go through here. This is to get it to where people actually want to show up, staff and patients. So there's a lot of things you can do from a marketing standpoint inside here. And then there's some stuff around paying yourself, because unfortunately I have way too many owners that are not paying themselves. Credentialing, there's a lot of stuff there. We then have the coaching calls every week. So we do 2 free group coaching calls a week. Like the amount of people right now that are charging anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 to show someone how to run their business for a 90-day program and then selling them into a $1,500 mastermind is mind-blowing to me. And I say that because I used to do that, but I didn't inherently understand the constraint that it was putting on businesses. Like if you were below $30,000 a month, there's no reason you should ever be in a paid mastermind unless they are doing full suite marketing for you. It makes no sense. You should be hiring and you should be marketing with every single bit of your money. And if you're not someone that's that size and you're bigger, half the time you're just locked into a contract, you need some help and stuff like that. So please hop on these calls too. Because again, we have experience working with guys that are small all the way to multi-clinic. And so there's things that we can walk you through on these. So the Monday calls with me, the Wednesday calls with Robbie. So wherever your inherent issue is, hop on these calls so we can help you. These are Zoom calls. So it's literally like hop on, ask your questions, let's solve some issues, versus just a live training. I'm speaking at you like crazy like I am right now, and you have no actual opportunity to ask and make it applicable to you. You're literally getting free coaching. Again, most people charge $1,500 a month for a mastermind like this that actually has less. This is free. All you have to do is sign up for general admissions. This is how you can do it. And so if any of this seems like it'd be something that's helpful for you, just comment challenge down below. I can send you the link so that way you can sign up. So again, if you don't have availability tonight, you can either get the recordings or you can sign up and at least get all the free stuff I just walked you through. Either way, I'd love to see you tonight at 8 Eastern, but if not, we'll be around. So let me know if you have any questions, join the school group, and we'll see you on the next one.